Good evening. Defense Chief Teodoro slams the China Coast Guard's harassment of Philippine Coast Guard vessels in the latest resupply mission to BRP Sierra Madre in the West Philippine Sea. In an ambush interview, Teodoro calls China Coast Guard's recent behavior irresponsible, saying he believes the international community would know who is in the right in the incident. On September 8, the Philippines successfully conducted another resupply mission to the commissioned Philippine Navy vessel in Ayungin Shoal. According to the National Task Force for the West Philippine Sea, the resupply mission was again hounded by the China Coast Guard vessels, quote, harassment, dangerous maneuvers, and aggressive conduct. China Coast Guard vessels had also previously used water cannons against Philippine boats on a resupply mission to BRP Sierra Madre just last month. Department of Trade and Industry Secretary Alfredo Pascual says the Philippines is not in a rice emergency amid the implementation of price ceilings on the commodity. In a television interview, Pascual assesses the country's rice situation, believing it is not getting worse. The DTI Secretary was asked for his comment on Marikina 2nd District Representative Stella Kimbo's filing of a bill, giving the President the power to declare a national rice emergency. Pascual says he is confident as the harvest season for rice is commencing, where he expects 5 million metric tons of rice to be harvested by the end of October. He also says he believes the recent implementation of price ceilings on rice is effective, as it makes the price of the grain affordable to ordinary Filipinos. According to Pascual, the price cap on rice may go on for another 2 weeks, depending on the situation in the following days. Senator Imee Marcos says even the late President Ferdinand Marcos Sr. would rise from his grave and declare another martial law because of the country's problems on rice. In a message to reporters, Imee says with what is happening in the rice industry, her father would rise from his grave and declare martial law. The senator issues the remarks when sought for comment on the Department of Finance's proposal to remove or reduce the 35% import tariff rates on rice to arrest the surge in rice prices. This proposal comes amid President Bongbong Marcos' order to impose price caps on rice. Imee also questions the, quote, sinister forces at work in the rice industry, adding that traders and retailers are in disarray as warehouses are raided haphazardly. She says the country now has to resort to lower or remove the rice import tariff. Senator Risa Ontiveros dares Vice President Sara Duterte to face the public and explain the funds of her office amid criticisms. Duterte earlier criticized Ontiveros for amusing the nation with her, quote, flair for drama, while allegedly wishing that the 2022 confidential funds of the Office of the Vice President were accessed illegally. But Ontiveros counters Duterte's statement, saying that her questioning of the controversial budget is only a part of her job.
Trabaho lang, walang drama. Akala ko ba, VP Sara, the OVP can live without confidential funds? Bakit parang pinapawisan na yata kayo dyan? Budget hearing pa lang. Lahat naman ng ahensya naglalabas ng proposed budget. Hindi kayo special.
Duterte earlier admitted that her office requested a 125 million peso confidential budget last year. The controversial budget was part of the 221.4 million peso allocation transferred to the OVP. This gained the ire of several lawmakers, including Ontiveros, who called the transfer unauthorized and illegal. Instead of avoiding the issue and resorting to personal attacks, Ontiveros urges the Vice President to just clarify and defend the funds of her office publicly.
Kung meron mang amusing, yan ay yung halos kalahating oras na turo-turo, pag-iwas sa tanong, paikot-ikot na sagot, at pagbabalagtot ng sitwasyon. Ginawa nilang perya ang basic na proseso ng pagbusisi ng pera ng bayan. If you're so confident about those confidential funds, then defend them publicly.
Philippine Institute of Volcanology and Seismology Director Teresito Bacolcol says an earthquake similar to the one that struck Morocco could leave 34,000 people in Metro Manila dead. Bacolcol says this in a radio interview when asked what would happen should a similar scenario occur in the Philippines. Citing a 2004 study, Bacolcol says the West Valley Fault that runs through Metro Manila is capable of generating a magnitude 7.2 earthquake that could kill 34,000 and injure 114,000. According to Bacolcol, the West Valley Fault last moved in 1658, generating a major earthquake, and the next one may occur by 2058. Morocco was hit on Friday by a magnitude 6.8 earthquake that left at least 2,100 people dead. President Bongbong Marcos says he remembers his father, former President Ferdinand Marcos Sr., as someone who fought for peace and order. Marcos Jr. makes the tribute as Ilocos Norte celebrated Marcos Sr.'s 106th birth anniversary with a holiday declaration.
For the peace and order that he fought and stood for, the development that he inspired our own citizens to build, and the dreams that he left in the hearts of many, he remains a true Filipino and Ilocano icon whose exceptional mind matched the nation-loving spirit that he possessed and that he demonstrated.
The president also urges young leaders to be inspired by Marcos Sr., adding that his father left a rich legacy for the nation. While Marcos Jr. celebrates his father's memories, many critics and historians have deemed his father's imposition of martial law as one of the darkest periods in Philippine history, categorized by rampant corruption and police violence.
To the young leaders and government officials, it is my earnest hope that my late father's values, ideals, and visions for the country will spur you into aspiring for greater roles and more meaningful endeavors, much like how these have inspired me.
Local oil companies are again increasing their pump prices of petroleum products effective Tuesday, September 12. The price of diesel will go up by 40 centavos per liter, while kerosene prices will climb by 20 centavos per liter. This is the 10th consecutive week of price hikes for diesel and kerosene. The price of gasoline will likewise rise by 20 centavos per liter. This marks the 9th straight week of price increases for gasoline. The Department of Energy Oil Industry Management Bureau says global supply continued to decline despite high demand as Saudi Arabia is expected to cut production until this month. Alamin naman natin ang mainit na balita sa mundo ng showbiz kasama si Ervin Santiago ng Bandera. Ervin?
Hi Neil at sa lahat ng mga kabandera natin all over the universe. Ito na nga ang latest Bandera Chika. Iba't iba ang naging reaksyon ng madlang people sa ginawang pambabasag ni Chief Presidential Legal Counsel Juan Ponce Enrile laban kay Vice Ganda. Talagang tinawag nitong super bastos ang TV host comedian, kaugnay pa rin ang nagawang violation nito at ng partner niyang si Ayon Perez sa It's Showtime ng ABS-CBN. Nagkomento si Enrile matapos patawan ng 12-day suspension ang programa ng Movie and Television Review and Classification Board o MTRCB dahil nga sa pagsubo ni Vice at Ayon ng icing gamit ang kanilang daliri sa kanilang Isip Bata segment noong July 25. Paglalarawan ng abogado ni Pangulong Bongbong Marcos Jr. sa Lecious ang ginawa ni Vice sa nasabing segment at ang malala pa ay may kasama sila ni Ayon ng mga bata na napanood on national TV. Sabi ng dating senador, ang problema raw sa Pilipinas, kung meron kang power, mapapolitika, social at economic, ay halos hindi mo na iniisip ang iyong kapwa. Sarili lang daw kasi ni Vice ang kanyang iniisip at inaakala nga nitong maganda ang kanyang ginagawa. Pero sa totoo lang daw ay napakabastos ng komedyante. Sabi pa ni Enrile matagal na niyang napapanood si Vice sa TV at kahit kailan ay hindi niya gusto ang style nito sa pagpapatawa. Ipinagtanggol naman ng mga fans si Vice sa mga masasakit na salitang pinakawalan ni Enrile. Akala niya raw ay napakalinis at walang bahidungis ang dating senador kung makapagsalita. Depensa pa nila sa TV host, hindi raw nagnakaw o pumatay ng tao si Vice para kastiguhin ni Enrile at sabihan ng kung ano-anong masasakit na salita. Sa katunayan, marami raw itong natutulungan at napapasayang mga tao. Matatanda ang nanindigan ng ABS-CBN na walang nilabag na batas ang nasabing noontime show kaya aapela sila sa MTRCB para mabago ang resolusyon. Kung ibabasura naman ang kanilang motion for reconsideration, maaari pa silang umapela sa Office of the President. At yan ang bandera chika natin today. Thanks, Neil.
Maraming salamat, Irvin. Here's the latest roundup of today's top stories. Defense Chief Teodoro slams China Coast Guard's recent harassment of Philippine vessels in the latest resupply mission to BRP Sierra Madre. Senator Risa Ontiveros dares Vice President Sara Duterte to defend secret funds publicly. And fuel prices to go up for 10th consecutive week. And these are the stories you need to know today. I'm Neil Mercado. Follow INQUIRER.net on Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, TikTok, Instagram, and Reddit. For more stories, visit INQUIRER.net. Good evening.